Anyways, I got on here and I thought I'd talk about terrorism. Can't imagine why we had another terrorist attack in Orlando, Florida. And I don't know what you want to call it or where they're going to stand, but terrorists are cowards. And they're going to continue to attack soft targets. Florida has pretty good gun laws. I mean, you can carry, get your license. We all know the Florida carry stuff. But, you know, most of the clubs are gun-free zones. I mean, this one was. So the terrorist went there. And he picked this spot not out of hand. It's pretty simple to see that he drove almost 2 hours to shoot up a nightclub. He didn't just randomly pick it. It seems random, but he researched it, and for some reason in his mind that was a good spot. And generally it's an easy target. And I know that a lot of the guys, you can't find this in their books and stuff, but they're looking. They want to do as much as they can. And they're going to do it as the best they can by killing as many people. I mean, this guy is hailed as the greatest now. He's got the biggest body count. Oh, that's awesome. And it's all over the news, his name, his picture. He's fortune and fame all of a sudden, even though he's dead, he's martyred. I mean, that's horrible. Puts us in a horrible spot. It really does. The news media, they're never going to cooperate. This is good headlines for them. I was proud last time when there was a couple news anchors and people that had some pull that says, hey, we're not going to say his name. I'm not going to say the bastard's name because, yeah, if I met him, I would have shot him yesterday. Actually, not yesterday. I wish I could have shot him Saturday. Would have been nice to get rid of him before this happened. But life goes on. And the control and everything else. I don't see how our government is going to protect us from this. And that's pretty bad, I know. They're going to work on it, and they're going to try to see how well they can do. And they're going to try to go more and more and more. And they try. I mean, there's a lot of good guys in government. I was one of the anti-terrorist guys for a while in government, and you bet I would do my best to hunt these people down and to either capture or kill them before they did this. And capture or kill is the way to go. Capture is better, believe it or not, because they give us intel and we can talk to them and we can further find out things that keep going. But you can't catch them all. The FBI investigated this guy supposedly as part of his background check so he could carry a gun as a licensed security guard. I don't know if that's true here in Texas and in California. It didn't require an FBI background check more than a NICS check to buy a gun. It wasn't like they did an in-depth check on you. But there's so many people that do this, there's no way the FBI can do it. It's just too big, too broad a spectrum. And then how are you going to do it? How are you going to stop? It's impossible. So that didn't work. Didn't work in California, where you had civil servants that are supposedly background checked too, that they did this. They were terrorists. I mean, it was not just one, it was the husband and wife. And they went at it. Their families, neither side their family knew. Poor guy on the interview. I can't believe they stuck a microphone in front of the dad's face. He's obviously distraught and unhappy about the whole thing. I mean, any of us would be, right? We can blame him. We can blame anything we want. But we need to look at ourselves. We are the way to solve this problem. I see you guys on the dash here talking about gun laws and stuff. It's going to help and it's going to hurt. If you put more laws in place, it's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt us individually as people being able to defend ourselves. And that's your choice whether you want to defend yourself or not. In France, they have some of the strictest laws in the European Union. They're way stricter than here. You can't own anything in France. But yet, it happened there. It's going to happen here again. And it's not going to help us at all. If you want to protect yourself, there's a bunch of things you need to do. And it's not just the guns. I work at Sparks Firearms. I'm a self-defense instructor for firearms. That is my specialty. That is what I know the best. So that's what I teach and that's what I do. But the other thing is we got to learn this avoidance stuff. You got to stay out of those areas. You got to be able to evacuate. You got to be able to win the day by not getting in the fight. Sun Tzu, all that cool stuff about avoidance. Avoid the fights that you can. Only fight when you've chosen the place and the time. That all works great, and we've got to be able to do that. I'm reading Emerson's book, 100 Deadly Skills, and I just flipped through this morning and read part of it, and it was about being able to bug out. And man, if you're going to go to these places with a lot of people, I do. I go to church. My wife likes to go to stuff. Me and the kid went to the movies yesterday. You bet when I walk in, I know where I am in the building. I know where to evacuate from. I know where the exits are. I know how to get back to my car. I know which way that exit comes out of that building. Why? Because I just paid attention. It's not that hard. It doesn't take a lot of work. It's not like I'm being paranoid. It just took a couple minutes. Pay attention to your surroundings. And when the guy comes in and looks all wackadoodle, maybe it's time for you to walk out. I know that's not what you want to hear on this terrorist talk awareness thing, but you are responsible for you. You are the one that can save you. You can't do this whole world thing. We want to all come together, kumbaya, and stop terrorism. Awesome goal. Keep working towards it. But in the meantime, as one of the t-shirts say, you give peace a chance, I got your back. That's what you have to be. You have to come together with everybody to see if we can stop this stuff globally. I'm not that optimistic about it, but hey, there's smarter people than me working on it, and I hope they find the way. But I think the way is just going to be friendship and understanding. You're going to have to meet your neighbor. You're going to have to walk out. I mean, meeting your neighbor makes you safer anyways. Go meet your neighbors. And if he is Islamic, Muslim in his faith, maybe you should go talk to him more. Just saying. It's hard to kill those people you know. It's easy to kill those people over there. And that's the danger I see about us talking about those people. And everybody says those people, the other people. If you start looking at a lot of the history stuff, and military does it too, I mean, we call them hajis overseas. We degrade them as human beings so that we could do what needed to be done. And that's the same thing that these terrorists are doing. They degrade all these people as less than people so that they can go in and shoot them like animals. So, I mean, love and understanding, love, dope, peace, I don't know, but know your neighbors and know people individually. That's how I think it'll eventually spread and stop all this stuff. But like I said, smarter people. Until then, you need to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and then take care of your friends. And not always in that order. You need to be able to win these fights. You need to be able to evacuate. If you're going to go to a nightclub that doesn't allow guns and stuff, you got to be able to run out. And I've gone, here in Texas, you can't take a gun into a bar. So I'll leave the gun in the car. But I know where my exits are. I have one beer. I enjoy time with friends. And I know where to go and where I'm out of there. And I'm not going to large, huge events that become terrorist targets. And I know this is kind of a weird thing, and I understand this nightclub was a gay and lesbian kind of bar kind of thing. I'm not real, the details aren't really in there, so I don't know everything. And they went to have a good time. Kudos on them. If you go to places like that, if you run a placement like that, more security, more security, more security. If you're gonna do no guns, you gotta have an armed security guard outside. You probably have to have more than one. You have to have like 2 armed guys that they're reacting for really bad stuff, and then the normal bouncers that throw people out and deal with the scuffle or the rude, drunk, disorderly guy. You've got to start departmentalizing this stuff and start thinking bigger attacks. And when you do that, you'll become a hard target, and these other places will go. And that's not just for nightclubs that are gay and lesbian clubs. That includes your place of worship. And it's going to get worse either way. It doesn't matter where you go. Muslims are going to continue to attack Jews. And Jews are going to start fighting back against Muslims. Somewhere the Christians will get involved. And everybody else always gets involved. It's just the way it is. So protect yourself. Have those ways out. And be prepared.